Namaskar. Good afternoon, dear students, teachers, principals, and all other distinguished guests. On behalf of the host school, Sri Sri Academy, Kolkata, and the Literary Committee of the ASISC West Bengal and Northeast states, I am once again privileged to warmly welcome each one of you to the Father Hess Memorial Literary Events, and specifically this afternoon to the finals of the regional debate for the senior category. It is said that democracy must be built through open societies that share information. When there is information, there is enlightenment. When there is debate, there are solutions, says Atife Jahjaga. What we have to do is to find a way to celebrate our diversity and debate our differences without fracturing our communities. And this has been said by none other than Hillary Clinton. So with an extremely relevant and exciting topic to debate this afternoon, students, I look forward to hearing your views. We hope we can change public perception by engaging in meaningful debate such as these. I wish each participant the very best. And with this, I request our moderator, Ms. Anjali Chatterjee, to begin the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, ma'am, for handing over the proceedings to me. And namaskar and a very, very warm welcome to everyone once again. Teachers, principals, our debaters, audience who is with us, and of course, a bigger welcome and a big thank you to our esteemed panel of judges for joining us today. Before we begin, I would like to go over the rules and regulations once more. Once again, the rules and regulations for the senior category finals. Participants should avoid reading from a previously prepared script, paper, or aid. Speakers who initiate both the motions will get 2 extra minutes, each to wind up the debate after all the speakers have finished their turn. So this is for team 1. Each speaker will get 4 minutes to speak. At the end of the 3rd minute, a warning bell will be rung, and the final bell will be sounded at the end of the 4th minute. Timing will start as soon as the participant starts speaking. Speaking for less than 3 minutes and more than 4 minutes will entail a deduction of 5 marks by each of the judges. And finally, the marking criteria. For content, there are 20 marks waiting to be awarded. For delivery, which includes style, fluency, clarity, and poise, another 20 marks. And finally, 10 marks for overall impact, totaling to 50 points. And it is now my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed panel of judges to all of you. Our first judge is Mr. Shudra Shubha Banerjee. Welcome, sir, and thank you for being here with us today. Mr. Banerjee serves as the section head of middle school at Calcutta International School. He is also a faculty member of the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program while teaching the Cambridge IGCSE English and Literature curriculum for the 10th year now. He has received the National Caring Teacher Award in 2016, given by the Ministry of Education, Singapore. And he is even featured in the worldwide top 50 dedicated teacher lists constituted by Cambridge University in 2020. Beyond English, he has coached students in drama, script writing, and set planning, and also in debates. He is currently the teacher in charge of the MUN and Debate Club at CIS, and he continues to coach young adults in global politics and debating skills. Apart from all this, his 2 most favorite authors are Joseph Conrad and Orhan Pamuk, and he also loves to explore various cuisines. Once again, sir, welcome.
Thank you.
Our second judge for this wonderful afternoon is Ms. Shumita Acharya. Ms. Shumita Acharya, welcome and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
She is the head of the Department of English at Birla High School. She has more than 2 decades of experience in the teaching field. So it's no surprise at all that she has been awarded the Best Teacher Award for overall performance in the year 2008. And she was also awarded Best Teacher for integration of technology in curriculum transaction in 2014 and 15. Her vision is to lead the way in educational innovation, rigorous academics, scholarly standards, and a learning environment that better prepares students for the challenges of a changing world in the 21st century. She conducts personality development sessions for senior students for the past many years to help them have a better understanding of their talents, capabilities, and behaviors, and to help them leverage this understanding into growing their personal, social, cultural, and professional capabilities. She has designed, prepared, and published the Platinum Jubilee Souvenir 2015-16 of Birla High School. Once again, ma'am, welcome. And finally, our third judge for this afternoon is Mr. Surajit Ghosh. Welcome, sir. Mr. Surajit Ghosh.
Thank you.
Mr. Surajit Ghosh, currently an ELT consultant and freelance editor and content developer, was a high school English teacher for 9 years and an examiner at ICSE level for English language and literature. He has received his undergraduate and postgraduate degrees in English from Jadavpur University, Calcutta, and is very, very passionate about teaching and learning and creating educational resources. A gastronome and an avid cook, he loves to try different cuisines and study their genesis. Once again, sir, a very warm welcome.
Thank you.
And now it gives me great pleasure to announce the topic for the ASISC Regional Debate Finals Senior Category. The topic for today is Celebrities and Cricketers are Grossly Overpaid. Now, we've had a scintillating session in the juniors final, and now we really look forward to hearing what our young debaters in the senior category have to say about this very, very debate-worthy topic. And we would like to start off with the debate with Team 1. Speaking for the motion, we have Anjali Ladha. Anjali Ladha, are you there?
Yes. Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
All right. So, a luxury car with a celebrity seated inside in the city of Mumbai. People crowded around it, screaming the celebrity's name. A very common sight in India. Good evening to one and all present here. Today's motion reads, celebrities and cricketers are grossly overpaid. And I, Anjali Ladha of Team 1, stand strongly for this motion. How many of us have seen actors and cricketers in India being millionaires who live lives of luxury? Both of these are a form of entertainment in India, and they are celebrities who are known across the world. In India, which is primarily an agricultural nation, farmers are the ones who the entire nation relies on. They are the ones who have a poor livelihood and a low income compared to these celebrities and cricketers. In India, cricket is a billion-dollar industry. The Board of Control for Cricket, BCCI, is the richest cricket association in the world with a net worth of more than 1.5 billion US dollars. And cricket is more like a religion. And the cricketers are treated as gods, where players are getting match fees as well as a signing for a lucrative endorsement. And they have contracts to promote various products as well. Now, this also means that these cricketers often become celebrities in this publicizing process. Now, the advent and success of the Indian Premier League, which is the IPL, is an important pointer in this regard. Well, let's talk about the IPL. So due to the pandemic, the healthcare system practically collapsed. But guess what? The IPL still took place in Dubai, even though that money could have easily been spent on healthcare and would have helped the situation a lot more. Furthermore, professionals in very crucial fields deserve to get more money than in cricket. For example, if we talk about a technology professional who is improving lives of people by inventions and getting new high technological applications into use, should be paid more. Teachers in our country who are practically responsible for a fruitful future for all the young children who are growing up, they are the ones who are not adequately paid. A health professional, I brought up the healthcare system earlier, but of course, a health professional is also sometimes paid less and is not even given as much respect as compared to these cricketers and actors. Again, talking about more professionals, we talk about politicians who hold responsibility for governing a country and can help improve this nation's situation. Now, coming to Bollywood. The Indian film industry is valued at over 11 billion rupees. Work done by actors and cricketers does not directly contribute to the development and safety of society or humanity, but they are still paid by this society and humanity. The fact that Priyanka Chopra made more money playing than made proves this. People who contribute to the society selflessly and do work for the benefit of backward classes on a daily basis don't get recognition. But guess what? One celebrity distributing food packets on the street on one day makes headlines. Thus, and yes, this is a very unhealthy sign of any progressive society. Thus, I do believe that cricketers and celebrities are grossly overpaid. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anjali, for presenting your points. We now call upon your teammate speaking against the motion, Anushka Roy Chaudhary. Anushka?
Good afternoon. Am I visible and audible?
Not, you're audible, but we can't see you yet. Yes, now we can see you. All right, Anushka, take it away.
Our lives in this contemporary world are governed by a saying, which is that fear the fourth estate. And what is the fourth estate or the media doing when it isn't acting as a check to the democracy? It is investing its endeavors into the entertainment industry. In the Venn diagram of the great India median circus, the cricket universe amalgamates with the celebrity circuit and all eyes are on them. Either they are placed on the pedestal and regarded as demigods or scrutinized for the most meager of actions. But this surveillance symbolizes the demand for them. Good morning, judges, and good afternoon, judges, and my fellow debaters. Thus, I, Anushka Roy Chaudhary of Team 1, am firmly against the motion that states celebrities and cricketers are grossly overpaid. Now, I would like to make a comparison. You know what lay is in the agonizing heat of tropical India is what cricket was to millions of individuals in the insurgence of the pandemic. Looking at the laissez-faire theory in economics and the tip of the iceberg, the cricket world ranks at $1 billion industry and has a demand for talent as well as equipment. The ones rising through the ranks display immense skill and battles excruciating conditions during practice. Virat Kohli has a success rate of 68% across 50 plus formats and has emerged to be a household name internationally. Cricketers like him, belonging from humble backgrounds, have established themselves $1 million empire. So should they not be rewarded for their commendable efforts on the scale invested in this industry? Another point I would like to raise is that the term celebrity has become comprehensive over time. An individual we celebrate. This individual can have influence over any sector. Now, immediately looking at the film industry, can anyone look me in the eye and elaborate that this is not a society or an industry of skill division or skill division of labor or job opportunities? In this highly competitive sector, few put in the efforts and rise through the ranks. So should they not be given equivalent remunerations according to the capacity of that industry? Inequality in income is a reality. We do not live in a utopian world. Hierarchy is as ancient as the Chinese civilization and will continue to exist. In the digital world, due to the availability of the internet, these celebrities face devastating amounts of trolling. Like on August 24, 2017, Chief Justice J.S. Kehar ruled that right to privacy is a fundamental right for Indian citizens under the Constitution of India, which is absolutely denied to them. And here, I keep on emphasizing that this is a compensation for the degradation they face in the complex society they work in. And the money they receive is just average of what is considered in their fields of work. So this market demands free flow of money, And at the day when this ceases, the entertainment industry will collapse. So viewership and productivity will collapse, and this will damage the framework of our society. Because let's face it, we are dependent on them. Here, I would also like to address the term grossly because it's absolutely subjective. And I conclusively believe that each sector in the global market has a different set of economic allocation and expectations. Here, most of the discontentment regarding the remunerations they receive is fueled by the media, a sector which profits off these so-called celebrities who receive average to what is invested in their industries. Thank you.
Thank you, Anushka. And that was team one of Anjali and Anushka. And I would like to remind the two of them that after all the other speakers have spoken, they will get 2 minutes at the end for a summation, 2 minutes each. Okay. And now we welcome the first participant from team two, Anish Kumar Arun. Anish, are you there?
Hi, yes. Am I audible and visible?
Absolutely. Take it away.
Thank you. A very good day to everyone watching. So just to build some clarity right off the bat, I'm going to start off with some numbers and statistics. Sounds boring, but it's very important to my argument. So first of all, an IPL athlete, the average IPL athlete who plays 2 months of IPL cricket along with maybe half a month of preseason programs earns an average of $5.23 million for one season. And that amount seems all right when you consider my next two statistics. A fireman who works roughly 16 hours on call and risks their lives on numerous occasions earns on average only $8,213. And perhaps even worse, a teacher who are perhaps the backbone to every single occupation and industry in society today, including cricket, earn about $3,000 per annum, which are, well, suffice to say, the peanuts as compared to what your average cricketer earns. So as you can see from the numbers that I mentioned, my arguments today are largely economic. And well, I, for one, am very, very excited to speak on this topic because while on face value, it seems like we're just asking a question that, do these celebrities earn more than us? In a sense, we're delving into a history of human economics and the behavior that goes into providing values to certain entities. And that over here is something that is very apparent. So what I'm going to do is split my argument into two fundamental aspects, with the first one being societal utility and the second one being the value that we provide. So now I am going to list 4 occupations. First one being the doctor, the providers of healthcare, people who work tirelessly to ensure that all of us are safe and healthy, especially during this pandemic. We have our lawyers who are the providers of legal recourse, the upholders of the constitutions, and of course the fighters for law and order. Next, we have the police officers and first responders who work tirelessly in order to maintain order in society as a whole. And finally, we have the teachers who, again, as I mentioned, work as the backbone for every single occupation, preparing the future to take up the reins. What connects these 4? They are the occupations that have some of the highest societal utility. But in spite of that, these 4 occupations are some of the lower paying jobs as compared to my next 2 occupations, which are the athlete. Athletes are, well, people who are extremely talented in, well, running, jumping, throwing, and catching, to be very honest. And we have the actors who are extremely brilliant at showcasing a wide range of emotions in front of a camera. While these, of course, the argument can be made that they're very necessary in, helping us take a break, live out a life that we don't really have, a certain break from the mundane. Does it really justify earning roughly 700 times more than these occupations? Why does this happen? To put it very simply, I will move on to the water diamond paradox, which states that while water, which is very, very common, has a very minor value as compared to the diamond simply because of its rarity. To relate it with this, we live in a society where rarity is valued over utility. No matter what a doctor does, there's only one Virat Kohli. And why does this happen? Because of me, and because of you, and because of every single person in this meeting. We invest our money towards making them rich. To conclude, I would like to end slightly on a bit of an uncertain note. We live in a world where actors are treated like demigods, but doctors and lawyers are heckled. We live in a world where utility does not hold enough relevance as compared to health. And is there any way out of it? Unfortunately, no. On that note, of course, thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Anish, for presenting your views. I would now like to call your teammate, Swayamshi Mohanty. Swayamshi?
Ma'am, am I
Are you
audible
here?
and visible?
You are audible, but we need to see you. And I think you can you say something again? I think you need to be a little louder.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Lights flashing, overwhelmed. News spreading, a career end? Constantly in the eyes of the public who are free to judge. One small mistake and they hold an everlasting grudge. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Swayamshi Mahanti and I stand firmly against the motion that is, cricketers and celebrities are grossly overpaid. Let me ask you this question. Why do people think that they are overpaid? We would not be having this debate in the very first place if people did not think that, right? And most people would say that it's because they earn much more than other professions, or maybe because they don't deserve that much. A number of answers come to mind, but no one ever wonders what goes on behind those screens, behind those performances before those games. They get what they deserve. It's because they're the best at what they do. Let's take acting for an example. A number of celebrities are in the acting profession. For many people, acting appears to be people talking while sometimes getting emotional. Basically, they think it's someone on screen or on stage being themselves, which is why so many people think that they can do it. They say, acting is only hard because you have to memorize lines. If I could do that, I could be an actor too. They see Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver and think, I'm from New York, I can drive a car, I could do that. On the contrary, no one thinks that they can wake up one morning and become a professional ballerina, a scientist, or a classical pianist. To the uninformed, what these professions require that acting seemingly doesn't is years and years of intense training. Acting skills, not a thing, they think. But here's the truth. Remarkable actors do go through intense training specifically so you can't tell how hard they're working. So you can't see the years and years of training that got them to this point. There's a disguised virtuosity in the complex craft of acting, and that does not show itself in skilled acting. The salary seems a lot, I understand. But when we realize how much they have struggled, for how many years they have struggled to get those roles, and maybe they might not even get on the role, is when we realize that they rightfully deserve it. I'm pretty sure most of us can acknowledge the fact that acting, singing, sports, etc. are very fickle professions. They do not guarantee stability. With professions like engineering, medicine, you can still get jobs, find internships, etc. But in the case of sports and entertainment, you're either good or unemployed. Moreover, it's kind of all about demand and supply. There's a demand for these kind of talent. That's why these jobs become lucrative. There's a reason why celebrities get paid so much. They are omnipresent. Almost everyone loves music. Almost everyone loves watching movies. Even famous scientists have favorite playlists. If you look at this from a philosophical point of view, entertainers fill up the gaps in our lives. A hard day at work or at school, bickering with people in a tough life environment. But when you watch your favorite movies, for me it's Marvel movies, or listen to your favorite artist, you forget your worries for some time. This is a reason why it is called entertainment. In the words of Walt Disney, movies can and do have tremendous influence in shaping young lives in the realm of entertainment towards the idea and objectives of normal adulthood. And cricketers, sportsmen, cricketers are not overpaid because they are paid according to their ability, according to their talent. During the Olympics, everyone wanted India to win as many sports as possible. But now, when it comes to funding sportsmen, why does everyone become silent? It's clear that cricket has contributed to the country's economy in various ways. Actors and athletes are in the public eye all the time. They become spokespeople for brands. They get what they deserve. It's their work that has produced so much money, and they deserve their share for their commendable efforts. Thus, I believe that celebrities and cricketers are most definitely not overpaid. With this, I rest my case, but certainly not my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Swayamshi, for presenting your views on this topic. That was team 2. We now move on to team 3. And the first speaker coming in for the topic is Harsh Kumar Agarwal. Harsh, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Am I perfectly audible and visible?
Absolutely, perfectly so.
Sure. A public service officer, a policeman, I'll say, who has 20 years of experience, is today standing as a security at an event where hundreds of thousands of people have assembled. For what? Yeah, of course, we are curious. For what? To watch a celebrity perform on a song that has been pre-recorded in a professional studio, auto-tuned and touched up for the event. The policeman was bustling the entire day for the event, managing phone calls, managing logistics. He has to skip his 3-day meals from the past 3 days in order to add up for the house installments, which are due for him. He hears people saying at the event when he's totally tired and wiping off his sweat that a 21-year-old talented celebrity is being paid $1 million just to perform for the night. An amount that this medal-laden cop, this brave cop, had earned in 5 hardworking years. Overpaid? Absolutely yes. I wish a very warm good afternoon to the respected jury members who are the opponents. My name is Harsh Kumar Agarwal, and by now you must have clearly understood that I am speaking for the proposition today for the motion that is presented in the House. Celebrities and cricketers are grossly overpaid. Now, I'd like to establish my point of view from a very nominal perspective, as the topic clearly asks us to reflect on the fact that celebrities are being overpaid. And on what parameter do I say so? Because art is definitely subjective. Then on what parameter do I say so? It is the overestimation. It is the overestimation of the value provided or the utility created in the society by the celebrity or the cricketer. No doubt, cricketers are paid way too much money that could have been used in the overall development of other sports. Although we do have hockey as the national sport of our country, the average salary handed out to the A+ players in cricket is approximately 15 times more than the Indian hockey team captain. Disparity obviously increases as we move down to other sports. Countless interviews by victorious athletes in the Tokyo Olympics, Tokyo Paralympics, and other Commonwealth and Asian Games have revealed the condition of other athletes just as talented, but they do not receive proper facilities, proper infrastructure, proper training. Why? Because they're not cricketers. Doctors save lives every day at utmost sacrifices. Construction workers create these luxurious offices and homes for the celebrities and cricketers. And businessmen, teachers, professions which ignite the future and ignite the passions of the country, the teachers which have been moderating this event, which have been nurturing us since childhood. All of these professions, these valuable professions, add so much value to our life. Yet, their combined pay will not make up for the celebrity who speaks in a furnished studio in front of a camera or a cricketer who is playing in TV. What is the indirect effect of this? We see young minds heavily encouraged towards cricket and acting for immense fame and money it promises. Do we see high school students saying, I want to be a firefighter, a track and jump athlete? No. An actor who is into the big screen industry? Yes. A cricketer? Yes. The overpaying mindset sets a very incorrect base and frame for the next generation who will step into these professions and other roles. Just as we ponder over these mind-boggling differences, it is to be very interestingly noted that the Prime Minister of India draws out a salary 20 times lesser than the Indian cricket team's captain. Excluding brand value and endorsements, of course, we're talking about salary. The opposition still believes that we deserve these gigantic figures. Debate has entitled me to not just argue and settle the question, but also provide solutions for the same. Here, we need to identify and realize the true power of sports in theatre. And instead of concentrating the money in the top players of cricket, we need to help the juggernaut revenue go on more than just to some players. It needs to go to the training of other players and other players. Cricketers are overpaid, celebrities are overpaid, and entertainment, in my view, has been overratedly, grossly overpaid. With this, I rest my case, but not my sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Harsh. And now we move on to your teammate, Devayu Chando. Are you there? You're not audible?
Am I audible, ma'am, now?
Yes, you are audible now.
Thank you. Colin Powell once asked about hard work and success said that dream cannot always be achieved through magic. You need to put on your sweat, determination, and hard work. And I believe sometimes it takes more than hard work. It takes a certain amount of skill set. And our celebrities have been working hard all over these years throughout their life to brush their skills so as to earn a livelihood out of the profession they love. And when these celebrities, be it a cricketer, an actor, or any other media celebrity, is rightfully remunerated for the devotion of their life towards the profession they love, I believe it provides no hindrance to the economical structure of the society. On that note, good afternoon, one and all present here. This is Devayu Chando, and I guess it's pretty clear by now that I'm speaking against the proposition. Firstly, we need to recognize the fact that these celebrities' salaries are paid by us, our choice. We get to choose whether we want to go to a Abhijit Singh concert, watch a Vicky Kaushal movie, or go to a stadium to watch Virat Kohli score a century. They didn't ask for money at gunpoint, right? We are paying this money to them because it's a want in our life, not a need. Now, if my last point made me sound like a cricket fan or a cinephile I truly am, I would like to establish my next point from a very neutral point of view. We all know for a fact that a person who has an income exemption of more than 2.5 lakhs is obligated to pay income tax. So, if my fellow opponents still believe that these cricketers and actors and other media celebrities are grossly overpaid, they are also paying a huge amount of tax for the betterment of the economical structure of the society. The same society which is blaming them for earning more money, quote unquote, legally. And I did not even take into account the amount of donations and social works these celebrities perform as a responsibility towards their society. Now, even if I keep aside all the hard works and the sacrifices these people go through, you know what? I will not keep aside the hard works and sacrifices these people go through. Now, if I say a academic profession which is very well established, that is the architect. And to become an architect, you need to pursue a dream and have to work very hard on it. And when you do so, your academic greatness is truly rewarded and celebrated. But if we are allowed to celebrate one's academic greatness and intelligence, why aren't we allowed to celebrate the other skills involved with a person? Why not celebrate the skill of a batsman? Why not celebrate the skill of a singer? Why not celebrate a director who knows how to make the perfect movie that will touch your heart? Why aren't why aren't they saying that these architects are also equally celebrated as the other media celebrities? Now, even so, my fellow opponents still believe that these celebrities are grossly overpaid. Then there's certain money wastage I would like to point out, which needs to be eliminated for properly establishing the economical structure. Like we spent over 2,000 crores for the building of Statue of Unity. If we need a Statue of Unity worth rupees 2,000 crore to symbolize unity in our nation, then I believe our unity is in grave danger. To conclude, I would say talent brings you close to the stairs of success, and hard work helps you to climb it. And I believe when you do so, no matter whoever says whatever, you truly deserve it all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Devayu, for presenting your points. We now move on to Team 4. And coming in for the topic is Shaina Shah. Shaina, are you there?
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. We need to see you.
Wait a minute, connection problem. 1 second. Am I visible now?
Yes, now you are.
May I start?
You may. Of course you may.
So here I am Shaina Shah from Team 4 is for the topic that cricketers and celebrities are grossly overpaid. So good evening to one and all present over here. I am just going to say a few facts which I have visited and are supported by many. In India, cricket is a religion and cricketers are considered as gods. And we have a tradition of treating gods with royalty. Thus, cricketers also treat as a royal game and is overpaid. In modern generation, especially the young stars are crazed with crickets, and hence cricket is the highest paid among cricketers being the highest paid players. In spite, hockey is considered as the national sports of our country. Players are being auctioned. We know we have seen in IPL. So it shows that how much demand is there for cricket, and among the franchise they are giving crores and lakhs of monies to grab a best players. So these all are the proof to show that cricketers are overpaid. Then let us come to celebrities. The fact is that without celebrities or films, the world might be boring but not a problem because we would have survived. But instead, if there was not a medical treatment, not a health problem solution, not education, we could not have survived. Just let us take an example. If we have suffered from a major disease like a sudden heart attack, what would we do? Would we switch on the TV to watch a show or a cricket movie and it will help us? No, we would immediately rush for medical treatment. And yes, this is the point what I mean. Medical treatment and many other things are much more necessity than these celebrities. I mean the movies and the cricket sports. In this situation, we have seen that during this pandemic, the frontier workers, the civil service, those police officers, they are working so hard just to save our lives. But unfortunately, we know that what they are paid is not half of also the celebrities or the cricketers. And it is very sad to listen this. Sometimes cricketers are also act as a bad influence, especially to the young generation, as we have seen and lost many celebrities due to overdosing of their drugs. Does this seem to become the idol? No. But instead, if young generations make idol to any doctor or any civil service, moreover the army who protect us, who protect our country by fighting day and night 24/7, are much more needed to be paid and respect. But it is not at all. So I would like to conclude my speech by firmly agreeing that cricketers and celebrities are grossly overpaid. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharanya. Okay. We now invite your teammate speaking against the topic, Harsh Vaid. Harsh?
Ma'am, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you and hear you. Go ahead.
Should I start? Okay. If it had been a couple of years back, I would have totally agreed to the point that cricketers and celebrities are grossly overpaid. But upon further examination and analysis, I found out to the extent of which I was wrong. Absolutely wrong. Rather, he earns what he deserves. Good afternoon, everyone. Speaker Madam, members of the jury, and all the other panelists. I am Harsh Vaid from Team 4. I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this platform to express my views. The topic given today includes two extremely progressive professions that bring vital economic revenue to the nation. They are the major vertebrae of the entire Indian economic backbone. The entire topic can be debunked with the simple economics formula of demand and supply. We go to the theaters, cinemas, stadiums to watch them perform, and after they please us, we cry. They are overrated, they are overpaid. Isn't that hypocritical? Let's talk about the cricketers first. Let me bring a fact in front of you. As per the survey conducted by the Government of India, there are exactly 5,45,93,224 people playing professional cricket in India. Quite a big number. But what's the current Indian men's cricketing team? Has just 15 players? You see the level of competence? The percentage falls down to 0.0003. Let's look at the chronology then. A player has to play these sets of tournaments and with the best of his performance to reach the milestone club, district, zonal, state, Ranji, then Vijay Hazare, under 19 Ranji India A. And after that, if he is in the best of his form, he gets to play for India. And once his form drops again, there is no job security as well. Now coming to celebrities, actors and media personalities, we cannot imagine the amount of sacrifice they make. The risk in both of these professions is immense. An average movie takes around 6 months in making. And what if it doesn't go well at the box office? The actors involved in it are doomed. The entire effort is crumbled down. Just think about the method actors across the globe, whether it be Amir Khan, Daniel Day-Lewis, Christian Bale, or anybody else. Never forget Heath Ledger, the ultimate sacrifice of his life he made to present as the best Joker we know of. An actor needs to work out hard, both physically, mentally. He needs to literally get into the characters he's playing. We do not play for the crowd, we play for the country. By former Indian cricketing team captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni. This is the level of responsibility they hold. They have the expectations of an entire nation upon their shoulders. And we cry they're overpaid, overpaid, overpaid. I do not agree. Now, to the questions that has been raised so far by the other panelists who are for the topic. If anyone compares the other professions with cricketers and celebrities, I must say loud and clear, it is totally a baseless comparison, as each profession has its own challenges and wages as a reward. For the ones who are bringing certain individuals to represent the entire profession and the immense success that they have received to represent the entire profession, my simple answer to that is stop looking irrationally, because you're taking a very tiny proportionate of hyper-successful individuals of the very profession, as there are in any other. The final question that has been raised so far is that they have been given more than other professions. I believe if one is getting less than what he deserves, that is in other profession, it doesn't mean that the rest of the professions need to be deprived of their hard-earned profitable labor. Don't be jealous after all. Thank you everyone for bearing with me so far. You have been a lovely audience. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Harsh. And that rounds up team 4. We move on to team 5 now. And our first speaker speaking for the topic is Sushmita Chatterjee. Sushmita, are you there?
Am I clearly visible and audible?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Sushmita Chatterjee, and here I am to speak strictly for the motion. Well, in recent years, we find out that there is increasing popularity in the entertainment sector, which includes the sports world, the commercials, and the motion pictures. And in some part of our life, we all have compared the lavish multi-million-dollar earning lives of these people with our lives. But there is a particular part of the society who believe that these people are grossly overpaid, me being one of them. Now, in order to justify my point, I would like to set a few examples and cite a few points. First of all, while thinking about these people, we tend to forget the other part of our society, which includes the soldiers, the doctors, and the other parts of the working force, and even the president and prime minister of our country. I would cite an example. Suppose there is a sports person who has signed a contract with a particular club for a period of, say, 8 years. And it's a contract of $15 million. Now, even if the person gets injured the next day, we find out that he is getting paid the same thing for even a period of 5 years or whatever period the contract was for. Now, let's think about the doctors, the military men, and the other portion of the working force, which includes the child care workers and our teachers who are working constantly to help us have a better future. What about them? The doctors are constantly helping us in medical care, and without them, we wouldn't have survived this particular pandemic. When we look at the sports personalities, we tend to find out that they are getting sponsorships and also additional type of donations or bonuses for the particular country or the club which they are playing for, especially the ones winning Champions League or any other kind of sports league. When we look deeper into this, we find out that the celebrities, including the person who belongs to the entertainment sector, they have their own firms and companies apart from the particular job in which they are into. And they do not require any sort of celebrity endorsement for the profit of this particular firm which they are running, because they themselves, because of their fame and popularity, are attracting the audience, are attracting the consumers. I'm totally appreciating the people belonging to the entertainment sector, the sports personalities who have immense talent and ethics. But we tend to forget one small point by judging this. Just like a snail which lives within its two shells, our country, or say any country of the world, is encompassed by two shells. If one shell is a social cohesive, which includes the entertainment sector, the other part includes the teachers, the child care workers, the army men, which are society. Now, it's really heartening to see that they do not get an equal pay, just like the people belonging to the sports sector. I would like to conclude my speech by saying that there should be proper justification for such kind of remuneration to these people from the social cohesives. And I would also like to say that the people who are directly contributing towards our towards the national income, their pay should be higher, if not equal, to the people belonging to the entertainment section. I would like to end my speech here. Thank you for having me here. Have a pleasant day ahead.
Thank you so much, Saptushita, for presenting your argument. I would now like to invite your teammate to take the stand against the topic, Khushi Singhania. Khushi, can we see you?
Yes, ma'am. Am I clearly audible and visible?
Absolutely, both.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. So before I begin, I'd like to present a pitch to everyone present here. So this is Pentonic gel pen, and it writes so smooth that you'll want to write even if it's your maths assignment. Now, I think all of us can agree that that wasn't pretty convincing. And if the CEO of Pentonic were to see that, they'd probably sue me for bringing down their sales. But instead of me, imagine Ranveer Singh being here and advertising that pen in his most dramatic and charming way. Now, most of us present here, even if we don't end up buying the pen, will actually think about buying it at the least. And that is what we're discussing here. That is the entire question about demand and supply, about engagement and importance. So good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone present here. I am Khushi Singhania, and I am speaking against the motion and discussion today. Now, I would like to get this out of the way first, as mentioned by my worthy opponents speaking for the motion. The debate here is not about how other professionals are underpaid. We are not comparing doctors with actors. We're not comparing engineers with cricketers. That is a whole different conversation with a whole different judgment criteria. We're not doing a comparative analysis here. What we are questioning is that are celebrities and cricketers grossly overpaid? And I say no. Now, we are in a state of society where everything is a business, right? From fooding, clothing, shelter, entertainment, everything has become a business. There are these celebrities that are omnipresent. And now when we step out of our houses, right, and we see billboards, we always noted that these faces of these prominent figures, they're usually bigger than the products that are being advertised. That is the level of popularity there is. And since everything is a business and every industry is rising with such great potential, entertainment industry is carried by the film industry and the sports industry. Part of the reason why we have unrealistic expectations from our love lives, and we called cricket the religion of India, but nevertheless, very true. Now, there goes a quote about advertisement that is, you can't buy engagement, you have to build engagement. Now, what does that mean? At this point of time, if I were to question everybody present here, do you know the CEO of Mazda? And I'm pretty sure that the question, the answer in general would not be in affirmative. But we can agree on the fact that Katrina Kaif advertises Mazda because all of us have seen her doing that. And that is the entire question of engagement. That is the aura these people hold in our lives. So it's a simple demand supply equation if I speak economically, right? And like I mentioned, these are the faces we find everywhere because these are the faces that we are attracted to. And that is how these figures in the film industry or the cricket industry have a role much larger than just playing or acting. Their role expands to so many more fields that it contributes to a success of everything else. Now, you may come and tell me that entertainment is not a necessity, but I would like to quote from the Dead Poets Society, a personal favorite. The human race is filled with passion, and medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are the things we stay alive for. And filmmaking, art, films, art, sports, art. Imagine a life without that. So you come back home and you don't switch on the television. You just vaguely sit there and you live your life. There is no escape from this hamster wheel of success that all of us are running in. And that's a life not worth living. Now, there comes the question of hard work, because the middle class man works 12 hours a day while the celebrity works out 12 hours a day. There is no question of being the best because every profession pays the best to the one that I conclude that you don't determine someone's worth by their job. They do in their specific field, and it is their reputation and popularity that makes the money. and you don't determine someone's worth just monetarily. It is done by the fulfillment they give you in your life. So thank you.
And that was Khushi Singhania from Team 5. We now move on to our next team, Team 6. And speaking for the motion, may I call upon Rahul Mishra. Rahul, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Carry on.
Do you know what is the biggest manufacturing product for India? Gods and heroes. Today's common man is tomorrow's hero, and today's hero are tomorrow's gods. Now, this policy is used by cricketers, celebrities, film stars, all of them use it. Good afternoon, judges. My name is Rahul Mishra, and today I would like to speak for the notion cricketers and celebrities are grossly overpaid. 1.2 crore. Yes, you heard me right. That is the amount BCCI spends on a single IPL match. Approximately 500 crores is spent by BCCI on a single IPL season. But is the same amount spent on all the other sectors of sports or all the other sectors of life? Let us find out. Abhinav Bindra, India's gold medalist from 2008 Olympics, tweeted that Great Britain invests $5.5 million for a single Olympic sports. And until and unless India invests the same for all the other sports except cricket, India will not reach its excellence at Olympics. 33 out of the 81 Olympians that represented India in the London Olympics earn less than 10,000 today. Now that is bizarre. 10,000 per month, I say. Neeraj Chopra, the man who won gold medal for India in the athletics Tokyo Olympics 2020. Now, Indian government invested 5 crores on Neeraj Chopra. That was the first time Indian government invested more than 3.5 crores on a sports person other than a cricketer. And you see the outcome. Neeraj Chopra won a gold medal for us. Now, imagine what if Indian government invests 2/5 or 3/5 of the money it invests each year on IPL for the other sports persons individually. India will surely excel at the Olympics and other sports. Hockey, India's national game. India won 8 consecutive gold medals in hockey, but since then it is suffering through a gold medal drought, not winning a single medal at hockey since the last 33 years. Do you know the reason? Because initially hockey was played in grass fields, and after that Federation of Hockey decided to play in AstroTurf fields. And Indian government didn't find it necessary to build a single AstroTurf field in India. And hence we see the results of that. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. If we sum the net worth of these 3 cricketers, it is $200 million. Yes, that is just half the money that India spends for a sports draft in 4 years. That is $400 million. Now, say me, is that not sufficient to prove that cricketers are grossly paid? Film stars, while India was battling against the corona pandemic, and 75 to 80% of Indians were not even able to pay for a private hospital, film stars, celebrities, they were enjoying their exotic vacation at the Maldives. Now say me, is that not sufficient to prove that the celebrities and film stars are grossly overpaid? India is a country which has the third worst or the third biggest gap between the rich and poor. Now, and this is a fact according to the OECD from the year 2019, I guess. Now, say me, is this not sufficient to prove that cricketers and celebrities are grossly overpaid in India? For an example, an average cricketer or an average celebrity earns 10 to 11 lakhs per match or per movie. But on the other hand, an average middle class person takes 3 to 4 years to earn these 10 lakhs. Hence, I, Rahul Mishra, rest my case and I clearly stand for the notion cricketers and celebrities are grossly overpaid. Thank you all.
Thank you, Rahul. And now I invite your teammate to speak against the topic. Ila Chakraborty, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible and visible?
You are both. Carry on.
Thank you, ma'am. Never confuse the size of your paycheck with the size of your talent. Greetings to the chairpersons and everyone present here. This is Ella Chakraborty from Team 6 speaking against the motion. Celebrities and cricketers are grossly overpaid. Now, it is kind of hypocritic as to the fact that my worthy opponents are speaking for this motion and would still go to a movie or supposedly a concert this weekend.
Well, I began my speech with a very famous quote by an American actor, Maroon Brando. Now, which stands actually true and very often confused. Let me ask you a few questions. In this lockdown period, most of us have been asked to make videos and put them up like for the school purpose or any organizational purpose. How many takes did each video take to get that perfect shot without a single sound like that? It did take a lot. So do you understand how many of takes it actually takes to make a perfect film or a movie for the actors and celebrities out there? Secondly, how many of us tried to hold a 1 minute plank and failed miserably in this lockdown period when we were all actually becoming health conscious? Many of us might have failed in that. And then, still, how can you say that the celebrities and cricketers who are out there spending hours in the gym, spending hours in taking so many takes to get that one perfect shot and are still overpaid? How can you say that? Now, being overpaid is your perception that they are getting more than what they deserve for the work that they do. But let me give you an example here. We all know Tom Cruise here, and his Mission Impossible series. Despite his age, we all know that he does his stunts all by himself, from having a broken ankle to a broken hand, nose. He does all by himself, and there have been innumerable injuries that he has gone through, and you still say that he is overpaid. Virat Kohli, for an instance, he spends hours in the gym, restricts to a strict diet that even forces him to chew his bed sheet during sleep, and spends hours on the field under the sun to give us that one perfect match where whole India shouts his name, and you still question that he is or any cricketer is earning more than they should, while we here fail to hold a 1 minute plank as well. Now people will come at me questioning, oh, you're so lazy, you cannot even do a 1 minute plank. We spend hours in the gym. We go to Sehwag Cricket Academy, which is apparently the best cricket academy of India, and we take theater classes and we do so much. But let me ask you, how many of us actually have become supposedly Dwayne Johnson or maybe Sachin? So I think the reality has struck all of us by now. And to conclude with, I just want to say that these celebrities who you see on the screen are not overpaid, and they are the amount of energy, the amount of efforts that they're putting. I hope I have been able to make a little bit of realization about that in all of us here who are listening. And actually, in reality, they are just paid a little bit of compensation of the amount of effort they put in to give us their best shots, supposedly in a match or in a movie or anywhere. Thus, I strongly believe that celebrities and cricketers are not grossly overpaid, but just paid the right amount. Thank you.
Thank you, Ella, for your presenting your views to all of us. And with that, we move on to the next team, Team 7. And coming in to speak for the motion, we have Sanjana Chatterjee. Sanjana, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, Sanjana. Carry on.
I think we all can agree that money makes the world go around. However, is it fair that this money is concentrated in the hands of a scarce few just because they can sing, dance, or act charismatically in front of a camera? Good morning, good evening, one and all. I would like to speak for the proposition. It is essential workers who harvest our food and stock our shelves. They are the ones who put food on our table. They drive our buses and they power our cars. They keep our streets clean and they watch our children, and they tend to us when we're ill. Yet it is these essential workers who are not adequately remunerated for their efforts. Entertainment is not a necessity. Sure, without entertainment, we would be really bored, but would we not be able to survive? Yet it is ironic that entertainers are the highest paid professionals. Qualified specialists like doctors, engineers, teachers, and scientists also bring skills and strong work ethics to their respective fields. And they also contribute to public welfare. However, their modest income does not reflect this. Thus, society underestimates the gravity of their contributions and thus negates their worth. Thus, I firmly believe that the exorbitant amount that celebrities earn should really be reallocated to more vital fields than entertainment. Furthermore, celebrities also have greater opportunities to earn than other people. Celebrities don't only rely on the salaries that they are regularly paid. Their earnings also constitute the remuneration from brands that they represent, and their large fan followings also contribute to their earnings. However, the middle class struggles, living from paycheck to paycheck, working from 9 to 5, and often working multiple jobs at once just to keep their head over water. The fixed match fee for an Indian cricketer is about 15 lakhs per test match. And the average annual earning of a person belonging to the middle class is about 2.5 lakhs. Thanks to business websites like Forbes, we as a society love to sum up the yearly earnings of celebrities, right? However, in doing this, we often neglect to think of the lesser known faces in the same industries who work just as hard, if not even more. Take, for example, football sensation Lionel Messi, who earns the appalling amount of 500,000 euros per week. However, think of those who never made it to the national team. They aren't even paid moderately by the sports federation. Similarly, screenwriters are not paid as much as actors despite putting in the same amount of efforts and being very important to the industry. This appalling gap in pay has resulted in an artificial fence being created around celebrity culture. Social media has only further increased this obsession that the middle class have with the unattainable lifestyles of celebrities. And this has inevitably led to their insecurities being heightened. The National Crime Records Bureau reported that 4.2% of all suicides were related to indebtedness and bankruptcy. While I do acknowledge that it is incredibly difficult to be constantly under public scrutiny and be judged for all your actions, the struggles of celebrities just cannot be compared to that of vital workers. They are the ones who silently shape our society. Thus, we must not let them starve. Thank you.
And thank you, Sanjana, for your speech. We move on to your teammate. I'd now like to call Harshita Upadhyay to speak against the motion. Harshita?
Ma'am, am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
A very good evening to one and all present here. I, Harshita Upadhyay, shall be presenting my views against the proposition. Before we jump to the conclusion that the huge amount of money that celebrities and sportspersons like cricketers earn is way more than what they deserve, let's look at this from a couple of different perspectives, shall we? I would like to ask my opponents whether they have been very excited to watch the latest Marvel movie at the theater, whether they have ever waited for days and days for the cricket match of the year. All that anticipation that 1.3 billion Indians feel before a match, it can never be compared to the pressure our cricketers feel. They carry the hopes and dreams of the nation when it comes to India's most loved sport. So many young people try out for cricket selections, and very few, the most hardworking bunch, get in. They put in blood, sweat, and tears to do what they love and uphold the pride of the nation. The rest of us are fans. We spend money to buy their tickets to watch a thrilling match at the stadium, or we tune into our televisions to watch the live broadcasting. Major sporting events, they generate millions of dollars in advertising revenue. They create jobs for people involved in catering and logistics. Cities that hold these events, they attract tourists from all over the world, and all of this brings in a lot of money, which goes to our sports persons, our coaches, ball boys, and more. And this happens in every field of sport because it's justified. American wrestler, WWE fans might have heard of her, Ronda Rousey. She said in an interview that the amount of money that you get paid is directly proportional to the amount of money that you bring in. In the past, cricketers had to pay a sum of money to get themselves registered. They wouldn't get paid and they were forced to work odd jobs in order to earn some money. And it was until much later that they got paid by their clubs so that they could fully concentrate on sports. Plus, the field of sports is very, very unpredictable. One ACL tear and your career is over. Mark Boucher, a promising South African wicket keeper, lost his left eye and his chances of ever playing again due to an unfortunate accident while playing. Cricketers have short careers as well. They play till the age of 35 to 40 and they have to retire. Whereas we regular people, we work till the age of 60 to 65. And these people, they need money to lead a comfortable life after they retire, don't they? When it comes to celebrities, let's know this. It does not only include actors, but it also constitutes billionaires, company CEOs, sports people, musicians, and more. To reach the star level status that they have created, it requires effort. It's very difficult for talent to get recognized. And when it does, these people, they deserve fame, money, and all that comes with it. Charisma, confidence, sheer hard work, commitment to the arts and creativity are not qualities that everyone has. Theater artists, despite being amazingly talented, they're still waiting for their big break, a chance to come into the spotlight. We cannot imagine what it takes to practice stunts, to spend hours on your voice, to get a book that you've spent so long perfecting to the last detail getting approved by a publishing house. We as the audience, we appreciate their talents, don't we? We love listening to their songs, watching their movies and TV shows, using their products, and reading their books. So many celebrities give back to the society. Meryl Streep donated around $2 million. Alec Baldwin donated $1 million. Actor Will and Jada Smith donated $1 million, all to charitable causes. Indian cricketers like Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, Hardik Pandya, and so many more donated money and COVID-19 kits in huge numbers owing to the current COVID-19 crisis. Bill and Melinda Gates donated $32.91 billion of their wealth on social causes. Celebrities' influence is so strong that they can cause simple hashtags to explode on social media. And this contributes to huge movements. Some examples may be Me Too and the Black Lives Matter movement. Celebrities are also constantly under the spotlight. They're constantly hounded by the paparazzi, and they require strict security to protect themselves and their families as well. When they want a bit of free time, they have to spend extra money to avail the best, most exclusive service to provide security and a bit of relaxation and rejuvenation to themselves. And this requires a lot of money to be spent. So in my opinion, amongst all professions, people deserve to be paid according to the amount of benefit and revenue that they produce. Hence, celebrities and cricketers are not grossly overpaid. Thank you.
And that was Harshita from Team 7 speaking against the motion. We now move on to Team 8, and I would like to invite the first speaker, Srijoni Sinha, speaking for the motion. Srijoni, are you there?
Ma'am, am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are. You're audible and visible.
Okay, ma'am. Sir William Shakespeare wrote, "If money go before, always do lie open." And in my personal opinion, we have sent too much money in the way of celebrities and cricketers that they can get away with anything. A very good evening to one and all present here. I am Srijoni Sinha, and today I'm going to grab this wonderful opportunity to express my views in favor of the motion. It simply astounds me how we value entertainment over simple necessities. The business sectors of our countries are simply profited by film industry and the professional sports industry. In a country like ours, where millions are starving themselves to sleep every day and people are lacking proper healthcare benefits, I think it's a bit insensitive if I come up here and simply justify the excessive money that these individuals receive. Now, I cannot simply blatantly scrape off the fact that these individuals have skills, but the amount of money they receive is still mind-boggling. In our country, the paramedics and teachers are underpaid, whereas these individuals receive crores of money by simply endorsing a product. Now, trust me when I say that I simply do not care about the outfit that an actress is wearing or the beverage that a sports person is having. I think we have failed ourselves as a society, as in our society, we give so much love to an actor or to a public figure who posts a video of them lip syncing to a song of 10 seconds, whereas the doctors in our country gets beaten up. In my opinion, it is still sad how youngsters look up to these people who do nothing but live in their bubble of happy, uninterrupted thoughts, whereas so many people have to worry so much who actually contribute to our society. In this year, when the COVID rising cases were rising and were reaching to sky heights, these people saw it as a perfect opportunity to go out of their way and to travel a little. Now, whenever this topic arises, it is seen that people try to justify the excessive amount of money that these individuals receive by saying that they donate so much money. Now, it seems a bit twisted to me how people will justify the excessive amount of money received by them by saying that they donate, but never go out of their way to donate a little penny. I mean, is there a point of spending hundreds of bucks on movie tickets or on cricket when you can go out yourself and help people? Celebrities often at times promote products that go simply against body positivity, and before anyone raises an eyebrow, I am very much aware that they do not come up with these products themselves, but since they have a platform so big, it is their sole responsibility to look after what they are sharing, and they should be spreading positivity. In the 2 years of this, where the world has seen more trauma than ever, in my opinion, these jobs do not add much value to our personal lives. In these 2 years, people have lost their jobs, and there have been numerous cases of people who have given up their life because they did not have enough money. And I simply cannot stand by the celebrities and cricketers who have so much money and who have been paid so much by us that they do not have to blink twice before they spend hundreds of dollars on their personal lavish lifestyles. Now, I do not blame them for this because I believe that it is us who have put them in the highest pedestal possible. I would like to conclude by saying that I simply stand by today's motion for the debate, and I believe that teachers, doctors, soldiers, and farmers who actually contribute to ourselves should be paid way more than celebrities or cricketers. Thank you.
Thank you, Srijani, for your speech. I would now like to invite your teammate to come and take the stand. Shaptak Das, are you there?
You see me? Am I audible?
Yeah, there you are. Yes, you are audible, Shaptak. Take it away.
Just as one of my fellow companion too quoted that a wise man once said that you can't buy success with money, but you need to pay it with less sleep, hard work, and a never giving up attitude. Good morning, everybody. Myself, Shaptak Das, and I will be speaking against the motion that celebrities and cricketers are overpaid. Lifestyle and financial conditions of celebrities as well as cricketers have always been a hot topic of the table, especially among Indian citizens. Now, before going much deep into the topic, I want to make it clear to each and everyone listening to me that celebrities not only refer to Shah Rukh Khan, Akshay Kumar, and someone similar. On the other hand, cricketers not only refer to Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni, or someone similar on that level. Now, talking of the fact about the gross payment of the celebrities and cricketers, yes, I agree that they are paid a lot, but I also agree that they deserve it. We live in a country in which every man thinks he can be a good actor, and every boy holding a bat thinks that he can be a good cricketer. Now, I'm not criticizing the hope. Yes, I agree that there should always be a never-ending hope. All I'm trying to highlight is the immense competition. But still, many of us have a question in our mind that why do cricketers and celebrities charge crores of rupees, that too for just a single movie or a single match or something like that, whereas doctors and engineers, after studying years, about 10 to 12 hours in their life, studying hard, cannot earn that much of money throughout their life? I will answer this. Let's, as a counter question, ask yourself a simple question. How many doctors are there in India? According to IMC survey of 2020, there are 1.2 million registered doctors in India. And ask yourself again that how many celebrities and cricketers are there in India who earn in crores? Only a handful, maybe less than 100. And there you get your answer. Now, coming down to the point, why are the celebrities and cricketers paid so much? Let us analyze it a bit. Firstly, no celebrity or no cricketer is paid only for their hard work, their time, or their capability. They are paid for their uniqueness. Yes, of course, they are unique. And we discussed it just a few moments before. And as we all know, that diamond, although being less useful than carbon, is multiple times valuable than. And why it shouldn't be? A diamond goes through a lot. It needs to be brushed hard. It needs to suffer a huge temperature that the carbon doesn't. Similarly, a celebrity is multiple times more valuable because of his uniqueness. He needs to suffer a lot before going to that level, or else everybody could have been a celebrity or a cricketer. Why no one wants to earn less, right? Everyone wants to earn a lot. Then everyone would have been a cricketer or a celebrity. Now, coming down to the second point and talking of hard work this time, I want to request you a simple experiment to do with yourself. Just switch on your smartphone camera, go out in the summer scorching heat of the sun, and record your videos for 4 to 5 hours. Or else, you go to the ground at 4 in the morning and practice cricket for 12 long hours. I bet you can't get off your bed the next morning. You can't get off your bed the next morning. What will you call this other than hard work? A medical student sitting in an air-conditioned room listening to a lecturer or his professor, whereas a man who aims to be a celebrity is roaming door to door, is wandering door to door, sweating in the heat of the summer sun just to give few additions. Or a boy practicing how to give a good dive, that to 12 in the afternoon, 12 at the noon. This is called hard work. Moreover, neither the man nor the boy has any security of his future. They don't know whether they will be a good cricketer or a good celebrity. They will, in short, they don't know whether they will have a good future in return of this all this hard work. Whereas a medical student has a good probability to it. Thus, I conclude my portion by stating that yes, I firmly stand with my statement that celebrities and cricketers are not at all overpaid, but they are paid what they deserve. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Shakto. And now, before I call upon our final team for this evening, team number 9, I would like to remind Anjali and Anushka from team 1 that after team 9 finishes, you will both be getting 2 minutes each to file your concluding statements and your summations. There will be no warning bell after 1 minute. The bell will ring, the buzzer will buzz immediately after 2 minutes. So we request you to wrap up once you hear the sound of the buzzer. All right? And now, team 9, our final team for this afternoon's debate. Speaking for the motion, I would like to call Nandini Dev. Nandini?
Ma'am, am I audible and visible?
You are both.
Good evening, one and all present here, and I'm Nandini Dev, and I will be speaking for the motion of the House. It is a sad reality, and we have to accept it. Yes, I strongly believe that celebrities and cricketers are grossly overpaid. I mean, look at their lifestyles, their sports cars, their luxury cars, their apartments, their villas, and then look at the lifestyle of any other person in any other profession. But the question that will arise now is that celebrities and cricketers are a different strata of the society, and we cannot compare any other person to them. And this is where we commit our gravest mistake. We devote ourselves to them, we give them our money, our time, and we let them create a brand. And it is this brand that creates the overpaid section of the society. Let's take the example of cricketers. In our country, cricketers are considered to be a group of men that is supposed to unite the country, that rather does unite the country whenever they go in the field to play a match. Ironically, a cricketer in a country who hasn't even played one single international match, hasn't represented his or her own country ever, gets auctioned for millions of dollars in a Premier League in a country. But on the other hand, a PhD student in a country thrives on a bare minimum of a stipend, even after having worked so hard for days and nights just to get in their dream college and just to achieve their goal. Would we like to say that their efforts were not equal? They did not give the same efforts to reach their goals? But can we say that yes, there's a disproportionate in the wealth that they earn? Yes, we can say that. Our world currently is full of unsung heroes. We have redefined the meaning of heroes. Ever since nations were created, our soldiers were supposed to be our heroes. They sacrificed their lives, their time, just to safeguard their nations. Speakers in the opposition had said that cricketers might have to retire at the age of 35 and 40, but a soldier might have to leave the world at the age of 25. But the soldiers do not get the remuneration that they deserve. Yet when the same story, the same life, the same heroic deeds are taken to a screen and given a more glamorous touch, the hype, the praise, and the money that it receives, it is grossly overpaid. We have made a world, we have created a world where a real life hero is more paid than a real life hero, not just in money, but in public adulation too. In the last 1 year in this COVID-19 pandemic, our social workers, our healthcare workers, the doctors and the nurses, they have proved
I think Nandini is experiencing some technical difficulty. Should we give her a couple of seconds? Judges, should we move on to the next speaker?
Yes, ma'am. I think she's made her points clear. Maybe she's just short of her wrapping.
Yes, right. Exactly. Probably her concluding statements. All right. So we will move on to her teammate now. Speaking against the motion, team 9, we have Disha Maiti. Disha, are you there?
Ma'am, am I audible and visible?
Yes, you're audible and visible.
Okay, ma'am, I'll start. In today's world, we often categorize the famous people like actors, models, and cricketers
as the highest earners in society. They are often accused of being significantly overpaid. Yes, we are paying them a lot, but they are all worth it. Good evening, everyone. I am Disha Maiti, and today I stand firmly against the motion of the House. When we think of celebrities and cricketers, the only most famous ones pop up in our heads. But what about the 1,000 more who also belong to the same category? In the United States, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that the average salary of actors is only about $19 per hour. Not exactly a limousine lifestyle, is it? Many actors also need to support themselves with other additional jobs until they get their next gig. Even if an actor gets about 50K in a minor role in a sitcom, that may be the only money that they make for a year. There are very, very few actors that make millions every year, but they did not become famous overnight. Even if an actor is incredibly talented, they need to climb the rungs in the fiercely competitive environment. They need to be in constant practice, constant shape, and maintain the people's expectations of them. They have no privacy in their lives. With the paparazzi and the photographers behind their heels every second of their life, it is not an easy and lavish life that they are living. As a celebrity, they sacrifice their free life, their relationships, their privacy. They work in a sector where the media play can make or totally break their career. Facing criticism every single day, the mental and physical health is up in a toss. The rate of celebrities committing suicide due to depression is alarming. Examples can often be made of Sushant Singh Rajput. The high income is worth the suffering and dedication of the celebrities. Same is in the case of cricketers. Cricketers are never overpaid but only paid according to their talent and abilities. Cricketers are often pushed to their ultimate limits. In 15 months, MS Dhoni, the India's busiest cricketer, had been to 5 continents, 8 countries, had to take over 50 flights just to represent India. Yes, they're working very, very hard, and therefore they should be paid accordingly. Also, we need to understand that the work of the celebrities and the cricketers, they are not permanent. One flop movie, one bad song, one missed home run, one single injury can deplete their estimated worth. They're not in jobs that they can continue till they're in their 60s with a guaranteed pension. In fact, very few celebrities and cricketers above the age of 40s can remain in the mainline media focus. Who would pay their bills then? Public often sees the idea that celebrities are extremely selfish people who are overpaid and therefore they are a waste of public money. But it is us who is consuming the entertainment that they are providing. Entertainment is one of the most important industries in every country. Being under the constant gaze of the public, these celebrities and the cricketers also try their hardest to keep us entertained throughout. Also, the celebrities and the cricketers, they donate back to the society so much. One such example is Sonu Sood. He became a real life superhero ever since the COVID outbreak by lending a helping hand to the migrants, to the underprivileged. They are as humane as us. So we should definitely pay them what they are worth and not defame them by calling them a grossly overpaid person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Disha. Okay. And all 9 teams have spoken. As discussed right in the beginning of the debate, Team 1 will be presenting their summations right now. And I would like to remind Anjali and Anushka that the buzzer will go off at the end of your 2 minutes. You will hear the buzzer after your 2 minutes are up. All right. So Anjali, can we see you and hear you, please? There you are. All right, Anjali, the floor is yours.
Anjali? I'm so sorry. Yes.
No problem, Anjali.
Am I audible and visible now?
You're not visible, but you are audible. Okay, we can see you now. Can you say something, please? Can we check your audio?
Yes, now is it okay?
Perfect, perfect. Carry on.
All right. So, celebrities and cricketers are grossly overpaid. Society is what drives this. Agreed. Does not mean it's right. What this gross overpayment of these individuals has done is create an expectation within people about lavish lives. We kept talking about how other professionals are paid lesser, even though their contribution to society is more. One of the worthy opponents mentioned that this is not a comparison that should be made, but this is a comparison that has to be made, because the thing is that when you're talking about gross overpayment, you're comparing it to a certain standard that you have to present to make the argument valid. So making that comparison is absolutely necessary. Compensation is a word that was being used over and over again by the opposition. Let us remember that there are some things that come with a job, and this compensation is not a valid excuse to be grossly overpaid all the time just because of being public figures. There are political leaders who are also trolled on a daily basis, and they are very controversial. Does not mean that they are the ones who are grossly overpaid. In fact, someone even pointed out the fact how our prime minister is paid way less as compared to a person who is leading the cricket team. Years of hard work, education goes into other fields as well, and there's a lot of competition around us all the time. Just because a person has not been living lavishly before does not mean that they should be grossly overpaid now. One mistake that you are that one mistake and you are gone is something all of us have heard. Yes, it is tough, but again, not a valid excuse to have gross overpayment. Now, let me reiterate something. One celebrity going out there distributing food packets, making headlines, one post on Instagram making headlines happens every day. But people who contribute to society on a daily basis selflessly and they work hard, they are the ones who are not getting this recognition. My entire argument is that gross is had to be justified, and I think that I've proven the fact that celebrities and cricketers are grossly overpaid. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali. And now for our final speaker of the day, I invite Anushka Roy Chaudhary to present her closing statements. Anushka?
Ma'am, am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are. Carry on.
All right. Now, modern societies have complex thoughts and theories become comprehensive, just like we moved on from Jeremy Bentham's panopticon to that of Michel Foucault. I begin by disagreeing with one of my worthy opponents and by stating that entertainment is a necessity, as people need a resilience from their soul-sapping jobs. So if it wasn't a necessity, maybe we wouldn't even be having this debate, as all of us have agreed that it is one of the largest industries in the world. I would like to reiterate that the concept of celebrities has become more comprehensive and does not only include actors. Social media platforms house celebrities. These platforms have become markets of talent. There is skill which is involved, and the structure does have a large amount of payment. Now, the money these people make is a staple or average for most of these celebrities. Coming to the film industry, we cannot generalize all of them. Film acting is a sort of winner-takes-all situation. There is a massive skew in the favor of well-known actors, which means that while Salman Khan may earn 50 crores per film, the most actors will struggle enough to survive. If I say that 100 rupees is earned by all actors together, 80% may go to the top 5%, while the bottom 50 may virtually starve. So are conclusively celebrities really overpaid? I would also like to remind my fellow debaters to remember that the question isn't if they deserve to earn that level of remuneration, but it is that are celebrities and cricketers grossly overpaid? Now, while asking why firemen receive $8,000, we should also remind ourselves how much they have invested and how much they need in regards to the skill or equipment. I would also like to address the adjacent clause that the BCCI is not a government body. It is self-financed. So whatever they pay to the players cannot be compared with other sports bodies who run on government aid. Coming to the fee of the cricketers, BCCI earns in hundreds and millions of US dollars. This wouldn't be possible without the cricketers, who are then given or returned in the form of crores. Thus, I, Anushka Roy Chaudhary, like to end my argument by going against the motion and by boldly stating that celebrities and cricketers are not overpaid, but just simply paid. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of today's debate. The senior final category. And what I would first of all like to do is extend my congratulations to our young debaters. Your arguments were very well presented. You were all very articulate, clear, and extremely well spoken. It was truly a pleasure to listen to you all. And now what can I say? We were served a lot of food for thought by our young speakers, and I'm hoping that our gastronomes on the judges panel were well pleased with the size and quality of the servings. Having mentioned the judges, I would now like to invite each of the judges to present their thoughts about the topic and about what they heard this afternoon. Mr. Shubha Banerjee, may I invite you to speak first, please?
Thank you very much. First, I would like to extend my congratulations to all the students for this brilliant presentation. I can understand how much of research work and, research is one thing, and then putting that entire thing together in that 3 to 4 minutes that you get to present, and then actually presenting it in front of a live audience, the courage, the confidence that each and every one of you required. Brilliant job. And honestly, as a judge, when you look at the topic and then you look at the topic, you automatically have an opinion about it. You take a side, and then you come and then listen to all the speakers, and then you start thinking, okay, the other side might actually be correct. That is a testimony of a very good debate. That means you have been able to convince someone who was not really thinking in your line, but now the person is forced to think in your way. So that is indeed a very great job done. I just wanted to highlight 2 things. Number one, of course, data, facts, figures, all these, and then presenting it with conviction that all these are there and required. What differentiates between a good speaker and a really good speaker is basically after you give the fact and figure, how do you elaborate them and you link it back to the standpoint that you have. So that is where the difference comes, and that is why the difference is so minimal. So I honestly must tell you, I had to keep going back to the score sheet to change a little bit and then check, like, okay, so if this person is saying this, so what will be can I give the other person this? It's really that down to that level. One thing I would really have liked to hear from you, because we are talking about cricketers and then the pay gap and all these things. What about the female cricketers in India? All the names, the examples, all that were being talked about are all the male cricketers. What about the wage gap, the pay gap between the male and the female cricketers, or even in the entertainment industry, the pay gap that exists between the male actors and the female actors? Does that help us understand certain things, and does that answer the question that we are trying to address in this debate? I would have loved to hear a little bit about that. So I guess that would give you some ideas to think about in future. Thank you very much for this wonderful program and having me here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Banerjee, for sharing your thoughts with us. Definitely some more food for thought for all of us. Debaters, I hope you noted what Mr. Banerjee had to say. And now we look forward to what Ms. Sushmita Acharya has to share with us. Ma'am, can we have you with us, please?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for making me a part of this wonderful debate. It is always very nice to be part of such youth events where we get to hear what our young minds are thinking, because the future rests in their hand, right? So we always look forward to hearing what they have to say on topical issues. And the one that we have debated on today is so very contentious and so very relevant in today's time. As regards the participants, they were all very nice. I congratulate them. They are all winners at their levels, otherwise they would not have made it this far. So you are winners at your school level. Who wins today? That is secondary. Getting back to the topic, I would not like to say much. So much has already been debated. So much has already been said on that. And who are we to judge the celebrities? It is they who reserve the right to spend the money on the things that they do not need. They also need the money to impress the people they do not know. without meaning any offense to any celebrity, I would like to make one point. They have a huge responsibility on their shoulder. They have two faces, and they do need the money to keep at least one face pretty. Now, regarding the conduct of the debate, I missed two things. First of all, an element of humor, and secondly, a fair amount of rebuttal. Two very crucial things which make a debate interesting. I just would like to sum up by saying a few things, a few points which I feel can help as food for thoughts and for action. First of all, in a debate, whenever it's something for the participants, if you are going for a debate, allow yourself to be governed by this magical number 3. It does wonders. You know, this number 3, if you keep that at the back of your mind, it will help you. Adopt a 3-pronged approach. Tell what you want to tell, and then tell what you told. You know, we are living in a .com world. At the click of a mouse, we get a flurry of information. So we don't look forward to hearing a whole lot of facts and figures. It is 3 major constructives if you come prepared with. No matter what the duration, just prepare for a 3-minute slot and leave the rest for questions. Be ready with questions and be ready for questions. That helps. And also concentrate on 3 areas: what to tell, how much to tell, and also what not to tell. I would like to end by just saying something which my grandmother would very often tell me. It is not what you say that matters, it is how you say that makes all the difference. May the participant who made that difference win. Thank you.
Very, very wise words from Ma'am Sushmita Acharya. Thank you so much, ma'am. Debaters, I hope you took note of her very, very valuable words and points about humor, rebuttal, and the 3-pronged approach. Thank you, ma'am. That was a lesson for all of us right there. And now calling upon our final judge for the evening, Mr. Surajit Ghosh, we would love to hear your thoughts about today.
First of all, good afternoon, everyone. And a big thanks to ASISC Literary Committee, the West Bengal and the Northeast states. And of course, a big thank you to Madam Principal and the organizers, Shri Academy. Now, Mr. Banerjee and Miss Acharya have already covered the important parts. So maybe I'll just do the summation here. Now, as Mr. Banerjee mentioned, really we needed to go back to the previous speakers and adjust the scores because it was such a close competition. But nevertheless, a few things as Ms. Acharya has mentioned, what I felt was that, the research was astounding. Big, facts, figures, very obscure facts were also presented. But I think that it sort of became a speech rather than a debate. There was hardly any conversation in the debate. As Acharya ma'am just now said, there was no rebuttal. There was, the participants did not connect with each other enough. Some few did, of course. And one more thing I'd like to speak about is fluency. I think that, yes, there's marks for fluency here in the tabulation, but maybe you can be too fluent, too fast. I thought some of the speakers were on a jet, running with their words, hardly giving enough pause for the impact, for which also there's marks. So to wait, to give the audience some time for your arguments to sink in, that's also something that maybe we should keep in mind when speaking in a debate. I'd like to actually call out a few names here I found really noteworthy. Um, I hope I'm reading the names right. Shamosri Mohanti, I found her arguments witty. Harsh Baid, I found him expressive, emphatic. Khushi Singhania, something that she did was give real life examples, which is another very important part of a good debate. You need to, sometimes we need to personalize, we need to give examples from personal life, and sometimes we need to just give real life examples if we can't relate directly to the topic here. Shoktok Dash also very emphatic, and Nandini Dev gave very pertinent comparisons with her facts and argument. So with that, I wrap up my piece. Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure here. And even I got to learn things from Miss Acharya and Mr. Banerjee. Thank you for having me, Madam Principal, and the organizing committee.
Thank you, Mr. Ghosh, for bringing up those two very important points about speed and relatability. And now, it is my honor to invite the Secretary of the Association of Schools for the Indian School Certificate, Mr. Ranjan Mittir, to come and address the gathering. Sir?
Yes, good evening to all of you. It's been a splendid few days, and the climax was today. I'd start by, kind of taking ourselves back 2 years. I don't think that 2 years ago, we could have imagined that we would be hosting or organizing debates online among school students on such a large scale. I think in the gap of 1.5 years, many of our habits have undergone a profound change, and we are more and more, let's say, skillful with this kind of thing. So it's amazing to see how much, of course, young people adapt faster, but that we are able to organize this year, and last year we didn't. So it's really, speaks a lot about the couple of years, or at least a year and a half gone by. Secondly, I'd like to compliment each one of the participants today, because today is not the first day they are putting in an appearance. There has been a preliminary round. And I'd like to also thank, in that respect, the host schools, South City and Horizons, who toiled so much to make those events happen. And it was really the ones who were shortlisted who kind of made it here. So therefore, basically, of course, I did mention juniors, the seniors as well. So it's been really all the host schools have done a remarkable job. And Ma'am Shunglu has done, basically has guided everybody, helped everybody. Her team at Sri Sri Academy has done a tremendous job in putting things together. And, I'd like to thank Ohuna, who's our secretary, for having made this happen. So that is on one side. I would not like to comment on the, quality of the debate, because that is something the judges have already done. What I'd like to remind everybody, though, is that we are facing the nationals. And when we get to the nationals, we need to really be at our very best. So when we are at our very best, because the idea is that we believe, ICSE schools are, at least we have more of them in the eastern part of the country. And so therefore, we would like to see our teams win. We would like to see our teams win at the national level. So in each one of the events, if possible, and we would like our winning team from here to really give a very good account of themselves at the national level. I mentioned two schools, South City and Young Horizons, but I should also thank all the others who are making a tremendous effort. Douglas Memorial Higher Secondary School, and I'll also talk about DPS Newtown. And all these schools have put in so much effort to make this event happen. Indeed, it's been an enthusiastic response from everybody. So therefore, thanks to everybody once again. It's been a tremendous, thing. And the fact that we could organize it in these pandemic times, it speaks volumes of the dedication of entire schools and teams, students and their, principals, teachers, everybody. Thank you indeed very, very much.
Thank you so much, Mr.
And
Mittal.
of course, I need to of course thank not just the judges of today, but the judges of each one of our preliminary rounds. They've been so patient. They've guided our students so very well. And, they have stood by them and appreciated and given tips, as even today that happened, so that our students not just participate in debate, you win, you lose, but then you take back something. So there's been takeaways from today's session. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Mr. Mittal, for your words. And I'm sure that the students are hoping and praying that they will do us proud when they get to the national level. Before we come to the absolute end and the conclusion of today's proceedings, I would like to remind all the students and teachers to not exit the WhatsApp group just yet, because the results of today's debate will be posted in the WhatsApp group. So please don't exit after today's debate. And now may I request each and every one of you to please rise for the national anthem.